Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Welcome, everyone. We'll get our meeting underway here. Again, this is the Clearview Township Council meeting, our regular council meeting for Monday, June the 1st, 2026. Welcome to the month of June. It is a little after 5:30 p.m. Council did meet at 3 o'clock for some in-camera discussion, and then we returned from that to continue our meeting here at 5:30. I'd like to begin our meeting by recognizing the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people of Canada as traditional stewards and caretaker of the land. We acknowledge that Clearview Township is located within the boundaries of Treaty 18, the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Tiatunati, the Wendat, and is the home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples as part of an intricate nationhood that reaches across Turtle Island. At this time of truth and reconciliation, we welcome the opportunity to work together towards new understandings and new relationships and ask for guidance in all that we do. All right, we're going to move on. Item number 1 was our closed session, so we're moved to item number 2, Council, which, by the way, I would like to acknowledge and welcome Councillor Marty Beelan, who is joining us by remote today. He is at a conference representing the township in Niagara, so nice to have you join us, Marty. Glad to have you here, but we have everyone here, so we do have a full quorum. At this point, we'll move then to our approval of the agenda, which is, the recommendation says, recommendation be it resolved that Council of the Township Clearview hereby approve the agenda dated June the 1st, 2026 as presented. Moved by Mr. Beelan, seconded by Councillor Walker. Thank you. And any questions on the agenda? Seeing none, I'll call the motion. All in favor? That carries unanimous. At this time, we'll look for declarations of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Have anybody got any declarations they'd like to bring forward at this time? Not seeing any? Okay, I would like to bring forward one. I have there's a motion here that's being presented by our Deputy Mayor in regards to property of the township. I'm just looking to find it right here. Here it is. It's item 9.1. Item 9.1, my son is a firefighter with Clearview Fire, and he's also a member of the Singhampton Firefighter Association. And so as a result, I will not be able to participate in this discussion. So at that time, I'll turn the chair over to another member. Okay, is there any other declarations? Seeing none, Council will move on. And I guess at this point, we can go to public participation period. We do have a few people in the audience, so I'm wondering if there's anybody who wants to participate in public participation period. No? Nobody wants to come forward to the mic at this time? All right, thank you very much. We do have a couple of electronic participations that we have. I am going to dispense with reading the full script other than to say that if you wish to participate electronically, we do have a township portal, and it is available around the clock, of course. Written comments shall be received prior to noon on Friday of the regularly scheduled council meeting. So usually I like to ask this question of our deputy clerk, but our deputy clerk is not here tonight. So Madam Clerk, we have 2 items, is that correct, that we've received? These have been distributed. Yes, ma'am?
Nope, you're good.
Okay, these have been distributed to our members of council, and I have them in front of me. So the first one I will read. This one is from Mr. Dave Witzka. Can you please tell taxpayers how you justify replacing a 10-year-old Olympia ice cleaner, which probably was rarely used during COVID, with the most expensive replacement ever? How does blowing $170,000 for some silly green dream make sense to taxpayers? And the last line I will not read aloud, as it is frankly derogatory towards our taxpayers and this administration, and so I find that line will not be repeated by myself. But I would say to Mr. Witzka that we are indeed replacing equipment as it ages and as it gets used, and we are purchasing or have been directed to staff to purchase this unit from the Zamboni company, and it is has proven to be a very reliable machine given the background of, first of all, the company and the particular model that we are looking at, and it does meet all of the objectives of the township moving forward. And so we do justify purchasing this, and it will also provide the service that people are requiring in the arena. So that is my answer to that question. I have another question here that was submitted through the portal. This one comes from Mr. Dave Witzka. It says, can you please itemize the expenses under miscellaneous expenses in the council remuneration chart? Mr. Witzka, as the mayor, I do not have access to this information for each individual councillor and or citizen or representative on any boards. So this information is all held by the Treasury Department and is submitted and goes through an approval process that is a process and a formula that's been adopted by this council and previous councils in order to maintain the integrity of our finances in our municipality. Miscellaneous expenses are exactly that. They fall underneath miscellaneous expenses. I would turn to the treasurer and ask if she's anything she'd like to add to those comments.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just to give a bit more detail, the majority of those expenses are conference related, as we're required to attend conferences throughout your term. And it's also cell phone bills as well. Nothing out of the ordinary. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you. In the course of doing business on behalf of the municipality, miscellaneous expenses. Thank you. All right, that's all I have then from electronic participation, and one more chance for anybody in the audience if they wish. No, nothing further. Okay, then we're going to close up our public participation period at this time, and we'll now go to delegations and presentations. And it's my pleasure to invite Jennifer White and Lawrence and Jeff, is that right, to come forward. Jennifer's here. Hi, Jennifer. You want to do a quick presentation to us regarding the tennis club?
Yes, thank you so much.
Nice to see you.
Lawrence and Jeff are otherwise engaged tonight, so you've just got me. So obviously, good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to come and speak with you today. My name is Jennifer White, and I am the president of the Creemore Tennis Club. I'm here today on behalf of our board and our members to talk about something that is very important to our community. This is the continued sustainability of tennis in Clearview and our shared path forward with the township. The Creemore Tennis Club has been part of this community since 1907. Today we are a small, volunteer-run, incorporated, not-for-profit organization with over 200 members, ranging in age from 5 to 90. Everything we do is grounded in a very specific purpose: to provide accessible, welcoming sport to the Clearview community. And today I'd like to walk through who we are, how we operate, and why formalizing our partnership with the township is the right next step. Next slide, please. Thank you. To provide a bit of context, the Creemore Tennis Club was originally established in 1907 with courts located near the rail yard. Our current courts are located at Gowan Memorial Park and were built in 2005 through a combination of community and township support. That included a very generous donation from the Barnard family, funding from the township, and a contribution from the club itself. So from the beginning, this has been a shared community asset. Over the past 20 years, the club has operated and maintained the courts through volunteer effort, but there has never been a formal agreement in place with the township regarding long-term upkeep and our responsibilities. We are now at a natural reflection point. The courts have reached the end of their lifestyle and resurfacing is now required. In order to move forward with this resurfacing, we need a clear and aligned agreement between the club and the township, and that's why I'm here today. So what is Creemore Tennis Club? Well, I want to take a moment to clarify what type of club we are. So when people hear the word tennis club, it's often they think of something that's very exclusive. They think of something that is very expensive, and that's not our model. Last year's at Creemore Tennis Club, an adult membership was $60 a year, and a junior membership was $30. That works out to less than $2 a week during the season for unlimited access. There are no barriers to entry to tennis. No expensive equipment is required, just a racket and a willingness to participate. My racket is a $25 one from Amazon. We have deliberately structured the club to be highly accessible. And when you compare that to other recreational activities, tennis at Creemore is one of the most affordable ways for individuals and families to stay active. That affordability is central to our mission. It ensures that the courts are not just a facility, but a true community resource. So to give you a snapshot of where we are today, in 2025, we had 201 members, including 41 junior players. 62% of our members are full-time Clearview residents. And importantly, we have seen 30% membership growth since 2024. This is not some static club. This is growing and evolving with the community as it grows. Last year, we also delivered 6 public lesson and camp programs, many of which were designed to introduce new players to the sport. So what we are seeing in Creemore is increasing demand, increasing engagement, and a growing role for tennis in our community. So why is tennis so important? Tennis is part of a broader trend across Canada. Participation in tennis has been growing significantly, driven by that accessibility that I talked about, strong national performance on the world stage, and increased interest from youth and female players. Canada now ranks second globally in percentage of population playing tennis, and nearly 5 million Canadians played in 2023. What that means locally is this. When we invest in maintaining access to tennis in Creemore, we are aligning with a growing, healthy, and inclusive activity that resonates across generations. It's a sport that supports physical health, social connection, and lifelong participation. I'll quickly speak about our community coaches. We are supported by people who bring the sport to life locally, and this includes our experienced community-focused coaches. Corinne is one of our top court coaches. She brings an international playing background and now works as a physiotherapist. She is hoping to launch a girls-focused introductory program this summer. Ralph is a certified Tennis Canada instructor, a retired principal, and a lifelong coach with decades of experience working with youth. Together, they reflect what our club is all about, not just access to courts, but access to learning, development, and inclusive programming. This is how we grow the sport in a way that benefits the community. I also want to be really transparent about how the club operates today. We are a very small volunteer-run organization. We have a 4-person board, but a strong group of community volunteers. We recently incorporated in order to provide the formal structure we believe we require to move us into the future. Between us, we manage all aspects of the club. That is membership, communication, programming, coaching, events, scheduling, technology, maintenance, and fundraising. We also operate a program to ensure that anyone who wants to participate can do so, regardless of financial circumstance. On the township side, involvement has historically been general park maintenance and services. So in practice, the club is already working with carrying the majority of the operational responsibility for the tennis facility, and we're proud to do so. What we're looking now for is alignment and clarity as we move into this next phase. Our club maintains 2 regulation-sized courts, along with all associated infrastructure, which includes fencing, nets, benches, and a small utility area. Through volunteer effort and careful stewardship, we have been able to maintain the court for 20 years. However, the surface and painted lines are now at the end of their life. This is not unexpected. It's part of the life cycle of any facility. Resurfacing is now required to be able to ensure safe and continued use. In order for us to proceed with that work, we just require a formal agreement with the township to allow us to do so. This is really the central point of today's discussion. We are ready to invest, we are ready to plan, and to continue operating this facility for the benefit of the community. What we just need is that shared framework that enables us to do that. So I'll close with this. The Creemore Tennis Club is a long-standing, volunteer-driven organization that provides accessible recreation to over 200 members in the community. We are growing, we are engaged, and we're committed to maintaining and developing this asset in a way that benefits Clearview residents. We are not here asking the township to take on any new operational responsibility. We are just here to formalize a partnership that allows us to continue doing what we have been doing so successfully for many years, while addressing the very real need to renew the courts. We greatly value the township's support, both historically and moving forward, and we look forward to continuing our work together to keep tennis in Creemore for generations to come. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to any questions you may have.
Well done. Good background, good history, and thank you for continuing to bring accessibility to it. I mean, that's a great idea. Good job. Council members, do you have any questions that Jennifer can perhaps help me with? Robert, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I think this kind of goes with political schemes that only took 20 years to get to this point. So I'm glad that you and staff were able to work together, and hopefully we can get this formalized sooner than later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good point. I've often said we move at glacial speed sometimes. Anyway, Council, any other questions? All right. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Hope you have a really good season, and we look forward to the discussion Council may have on this. Thank you. All right, members of Council, we're going to move on in our agenda, seeing there's no questions there. First item we have for us to discuss here is the approval of the council meeting minutes. Recommendation be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby approve the minutes of the May 25th, 2026 council meeting as presented, and that'll be Mr. MacArthur and Mr. Broderick. Thank you. Any questions on the approval? No? Seeing none, all in favor? Thank you. And then we have correspondence items. We have an item from our in-camera session. I do have the item here on our table. This is in regards to a facility lease agreement. So be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby directs staff to act in accordance with the direction provided in closed session regarding the facility lease agreement for 205 Ontario Street. Mr. Walker, thank you. Ms. Deneen, thank you. Any questions on that item? Seeing none, all in favor? Thank you, that carries. Very good. Next item is in regards to the County of Simcoe support resolution for the community paramedicine funding. I asked for this to be put on the agenda because I think it's important that we continue to speak about the great work that our paramedicine program does and is doing in our communities. And I wanted to bring this to your attention. So I will put this recommendation out and I'll look for a mover and seconder. Recommendation be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview support the County of Simcoe regarding community paramedicine funding and direct the Mayor to send a letter to the Minister of Health copying the Minister of Long-Term Care, MPP Brian Saunderson, advocating for revised policy to provide permanent base funding inclusive of annual inflationary, adjustments and capital depreciation, and that the letter from the Mayor support the county's further request for additional funding for the period of 2023 through 2024 and 2026 through 2027. The annual inflationary adjustments occurred during that time frame. Okay, Mr. Deputy Mayor, would you like to move that? And I'll go to Mr. Broderick for the seconder. Looking around the floor, anybody have any comments on this? Mr. Deputy Mayor, go right ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is a really important funding model for the county. And why it is so, right now we've been operating on a year-to-year basis. So when we do projects like we've got our offload nurses and such, we can't depend on our funding on a regular basis. So they're showing that the results work. And we have to, as a county, we're growing. We need to know that our finances are stable. And so this is what we're looking for, is to make sure that everybody's aware. We'd like to get this funding prescribed on a permanent basis as opposed to fighting for it every year.
That's exactly it. Thank you very much for the review. Are there other members of council with questions? Mr. Beelan? No? Okay, just looking around. All right, well, thank you very much, Deputy Mayor. Really good points. This is an ongoing concern, particularly for paramedicines. You know, there was an agreement signed, maybe 15 years ago that indicated it would be a 50-50 split, meaning that the Ministry of Health would pay 50% of the costs of our paramedic services, and the rest of it would be paid for by like the province would pay 50 and the county would pay the other. The challenge here is that it's never actually equalized, ever. So this is one of the points about the program overall funding that we need to have to continue to build the great work that they do and continue to provide that level of service that we all need in paramedicine. So very happy to have this on the agenda here tonight. If there's nothing further, I'll ask council. Nothing? Then I'll call the motion. All in favor? Thank you. That carries unanimous. Well done. I'll sit with the clerk and we'll prepare something for this right away. The next item is item 8.3, the Prince Edward County Support Resolution and regarding vacant commercial storefronts. Mr. Broderick, you've put this on the floor, so I'll read this recommendation and I'll go to you first, okay? This recommendation says, whereas Council of the Township of Clearview understands the vitality of main streets across Ontario as essential to the economic, social, and cultural health of the community, and whereas numerous long-term vacant commercial storefronts, which detracts from the character of the community, reduces pedestrian traffic and discourages business investment, and negatively impacts the viability of surrounding small businesses, and whereas the current Municipal Act 2001 does not provide municipalities with the explicit legal authority to implement a vacant commercial storefront tax, although other jurisdictions are actively advocating for such tools to address similar challenges. Now therefore be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby support the resolution from Prince Edward County regarding the request to allow municipalities to institute a vacant commercial storefront tax, and that Council requests that the Government of Ontario amend the Municipal Act 2001 to grant Ontario municipalities the permissive authority to implement a vacant commercial storefront tax or similar levy to encourage the productive use of long-term vacant retail properties, and that this support resolution be forwarded to the Minister Robert Flack of the Municipal Affairs and Housing, Premier Doug Ford, Simcoe Grey MPP Brian Saunderson, and the 444 municipalities of Ontario for their consideration. Mr. Broderick, you'll be the mover. I'll look for, is there a seconder on this floor? Is there a seconder? Mr. Van Staveren, thank you. John, go right ahead and speak to it first.
We have a number of storefronts that have remained closed for a number of years, and I think this is possibly a vehicle to deal with that.
Yes, we do have some vacant storefront properties. I was suggesting Clearview, we've got a few that have been considered long-term vacant. We do have some transient properties that have closed, reopened, closed, reopened. They continue to provide that service, but the properties that are in long-term, I think, are the ones that are frustrating to the taxpayer, for sure. Perhaps before I go to other questions, Kelly, do you have any comment on this recommendation and how, if the province was to enact this, how this would assist us with our taxation and how to create some balance and some structure to our commercial spaces that are vacant and how we collect from those?
Thank you, Your Worship. I believe what this is attempting to do is sort of penalize owners of these buildings for either not adjusting rents or not making them commercially viable. So with this tax, it would be an additional tax. I believe, and I haven't done a lot of research on it, but I believe the easiest way is to put the onus on the facility owner to tell us whether or not it is vacant. I mean, we can obviously do spot checks here and there, but putting the onus on them to either log on to a website and tick a box that says, no, my storefront is not vacant. But the idea is to get them moving, get them market rents for some locations that may not be charging that.
Right. From a municipal point of view, I'm concerned about making sure that we, have flexibility in order to allow these properties to be rented at a reasonable rate. Although we set our tax rate, we can't negotiate each one. But the issue is if it remains vacant, meaning it's not available, it's not providing support for the community, it's not providing support for the neighboring commercial properties. And so therefore, a penalization thing that you're suggesting would be something that would be, an incentivized to get them to either assist in reducing your rent, maybe fixing up the building a little bit, taking out a building permit to do a reno to make it more attractive for a future renter, perhaps. I don't know. That's what I'm hoping that this is coming from. I get the idea. Now, did you want to speak to this, Paul? Yes.
Yes, Your Worship.
Other members?
I think it's really important that we recognize the importance of economic development, in particular in the downtown core. And I'm not concerned about a store that is closed and is going to reopen or within a short period. But we got some chronic store closures here and no effort is being made to rent. And I mean, I've heard stories, people say, oh, well, they're owned by drug dealers, it's money laundering, it's this, it's that. No, it affects us on the main street. And I think that we need, it's time, and the province wants our communities to be strong and healthy under the places to grow. So I think it's important that the province supports the small communities to say, okay, what can we do to better ourselves? And letting people sit on these properties is not helping our community. So just a comment in that regards. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Other members? Mr. Walker, you're next. Go ahead. And then
Thank
Mr.
you, Your
Beelan.
Worship. Is this referring to strictly downtown core only? Or are we looking at commercial plazas and/or shopping malls? What is that? Is that something that's being incorporated in that, or is it just, are we just looking at totally downtown cores?
I think the motion said downtown, but perhaps Mr. Broderick would like to answer that.
The original intent was downtown, but perhaps we should be looking at an expanded view.
Because I think as you go through and look, we maybe aren't into that part in Clearview with regards to our commercial plazas and stuff, but as you drive through, there are lots of commercial plazas that are sitting vacant in a lot of areas, and I'm wondering if this is part and parcel, if all of that comes into play, or is it strictly, their intent was strictly the downtown core, in which case then, how do you establish the downtown core with boundaries? Like, that's another avenue that needs to be looked at if they're moving forward with this type of tax.
Maybe, Sasha just recommended perhaps we just make it vacant commercial, period.
And it is written that way.
It's written that way? Okay, so there we go. All right, Mr. Beelan?
Thank you. Having owned building in Creemore that sat vacant, you're already losing rent money, so you're already being penalized. So to charge another tax is, people looking at your building and going, do I want to rent it? Usually there's renovations that need to be involved. You're already being penalized by not taking any rent. So to charge a further tax, I don't know if there's a further incentive or not. If there's too much, then people are just going to sell the buildings, and I don't know who's going to benefit from that. So I don't agree with this.
I understand. Thank you. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. In regards to Councillor Beelan's response, I don't disagree with him on the short-term basis, and with the legislation or bylaws, it could be dealt with in a way that you would have a certain period from the point of vacancy, i.e. a year and a half, 2 years. We have got in this community some chronic vacant buildings that have been there for 4, 5, 7 years, and it does not appear to be any effort to use them, and that hurts everybody. So, Marty, I don't disagree with you as far as short-term turnover and stuff like that, but I think we could deal with some of your concerns for longer-term vacancies.
All right. Marty, you still have your hand up. Did you have more? You're still muted there, big guy.
I agree with Paul. If we set a limit, like maybe a year and a half, 2 years, if nothing's been done, then we need to have something imposed.
Yeah, okay. Good point. Mr. MacArthur.
Yeah, that's just, I was totally agree with that time frame element. I'm just wondering, and I'm assuming because we haven't seen any sales for tax purposes, that some of these chronic places are, through your worship to the treasurer, have been paying their taxes on a regular basis?
Madam Treasurer, do we have vacant storefronts that are not paying their taxes?
Through your worship, not to my knowledge right now. We are back in our regular tax sale process, so they're coming up usually about, well, they'll have to be 3 years in arrears. By the time we go through the entire process, it's 4 to 5 years, but we have nothing on our radar right now.
All right, that's good information. Any other councilors? Any other questions or comments? No, nothing further? All right, I'll just conclude this by saying the folks at Prince Edward County have been very good at sending out their motions all around the province. To be quite honest, these type of things arrive in our email. We receive a lot of requests for various support resolutions right across the province. So I understand and I respect them as their way of doing business. So thank you, Councillor, for putting this on the agenda. I also think that at some point there needs to be more investment in economic development to make these properties busier. And I don't think that it's a single property that's going to be a problem. It's a group of properties that end up being a problem. So I think that it's something that this council could consider. And I appreciate you putting it on the agenda. Oh, Madam, okay, go ahead, Phyllis. I was looking to see if I could wrap this up, but go right ahead.
Sorry, just a quick comment. We have facade improvement grants that somebody could make something look a lot more attractive. And also anything that any owner would put into a property would reduce their capital gains if indeed they decided to go and sell it. So it just makes sense to try and improve something and make it more attractive, in my opinion. They just need to have the incentive to do it.
For sure. It's not easy being in business, that's for sure. Well, that's pretty much wraps up my comments. So if there's nothing further, I am prepared to call the motion. As prepared with no minor amendments, correct? All right, we have a mover and seconder, so I'll call the motion. Those in favor? Are there those opposed? And that'll carry. Thank you very much. All right, council, we're going to move on to another item. Let's see, where is it here? Oh yes, item 8.4. Prince Edward County, once again. Mr. Broderick. All right, thank you. This one's a little lengthier, so let me give it a second here. Whereas Council of the Township of Clearview supports all residents of Ontario to have the right to fair, open, and democratic government, and whereas all elected representatives, municipal and provincial alike in Ontario, have a duty to faithfully execute the powers and trust placed in them, and willingly swear an oath to this effect, and are subject to the fair public scrutiny. And whereas the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act and the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act are essential tools to protect Ontarians against privacy breaches and abuses of power. And whereas the province of Ontario enacted Bill 97, the Plan to Protect Ontario Act Budget Measures 2026, which received royal assent on April 24, 2026, and introduced significant amendments to both FIPA and MFIPA to alter statutory timelines and privacy governance framework. And whereas the amendments introduced under Bill 97 have created a jurisdictional imbalance by excluding records held by provincial ministers, their offices, and staff from the application of FIPA, while maintaining the statutory responsibilities and administrative burdens for municipal elected officials and staff under MFIPA. thereby establishing higher standards for transparency and personal record accountability for municipal governments. Whereas excluding members of the highest offices and their staff from reasonable public access requests and records retention creates security concerns, reinforces the appearance of self-dealing, and is contrary to the public interest. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby support the resolution from Prince Edward County calling on the province to reinstate requirements for compliance with FIPA to ensure that the Premier, ministers, and their staff are subject to proper and fair public scrutiny like all other elected representatives in Ontario, and that the Government of Ontario implement recommendations of the Information and Privacy Commissioner of Ontario to increase and ensure proper security, record-keeping, and democratic accountability, and that the support resolution be circulated to Premier Doug Ford, Minister of Finance Peter Bethlenfaldy, Simcoe Grey MPP Brian Saunderson, and the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, and the 44 municipalities of Ontario. Mr. Broderick, I believe you would like to be the mover. Is there a seconder on the floor? Mr. MacArthur, thank you. Mr. Broderick.
Thank you, Your Worship. It just struck me as the appearance of a lot of, there's just no other better or proper way to say it other than the appearance of a lot of backroom dealing as of late is the impetus for this, for me anyway. We just need better accountability at the top. My concern is at the provincial level, but we seem to be working really, really hard to duck. And I had a real problem with that. That's it.
Thank you, Councillor. If I may, sir, I just acknowledge that you made a bit of an accusation there, and I'd be cautious as to saying something like that. You know, that you think that there's some backroom deals going on. And so I would be cautious if you would just state that in our public open session as a elected councillor.
I did not say there was some backroom deals going on. I said the appearance.
Well, regardless, you're making that suggestion. Are there other members who wish to speak? Yes, go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Your Worship. Every time I see a new bill come through from the province of Ontario, I always believe that we have to give it time to work. And as they've got royal assent on April 24th for this Bill 97, yes, there is some teeth and there's some protection. But I read the reports right now and how much time our elected officials are getting slammed with requests for this and requests for that. And I agree with Councillor Broderick on the perception, but the reality is, you know, until it's proven. And I have a real hard time. I think we should be something like this, letting the legislation do its job, and if it doesn't work, we have an election coming up in a couple of years again, and make it an issue then. And I think it's valid. There's a lot of valid points within this ask, but on the same hand, the province has recognized there are issues. So my comment is let things work the way they may with the new legislation.
All right, thank you. Other members? Are there other members who wish to speak? Going once? Going twice? All right, I'll give you a brief comment from myself. I would suggest to Councillor Broderick and to everyone here at this table, this type of motion is frankly ridden with politics. And it basically positions our council to make a statement that is counter to the directives that have been created by the Government of Ontario. And I'm not comfortable with these type of directions, given the fact that we are subject to the province of Ontario's wishes. We are here because they allow us to be here. And They can change that at any moment, as we've seen. They can make changes all along, and, it's not advisable for them to do so, because that also is politics. But I think we all have to remember in municipal worlds where we are in our lane. And so while there are some interesting points in here about the difference between FIPA and MFIPA, the Municipal Freedom of Information Act, obviously the changes that Bill 97 brought in, exclude the executive offices and the staff of the executive offices. And I think it's a problem to them, so that's why they did that. It doesn't impact us here at all. MFIPA is still a valid document and still provides the services that the citizens of our community and citizens of Ontario will want. And so I don't think that this should be even on our agenda, in all honesty. But that it is, I'm happy that it's here so we can have a discussion on it. And I think that it's appropriate for us to remember what lane we're in. We're in the municipal lane, and that's where we need to be. And otherwise, this document is very much playing politics, and I'm not comfortable doing that because I don't think we're in a position to state one way or another who we're working with. I can tell you, as the office of the mayor, I will work with whatever political party is in power because I represent the interests of Clearview. That's who I represent, and so whoever happens to be there is fine with me. But the issue is, as long as we have a level of respect between each other, I think that we continue to work well together with the province. And so I appreciate the deputy mayor's comments about let this work itself out and see where we go. So that's where I am at this point. I gave 1, 2, and 3 terms if anybody wanted to speak. I think I made it pretty clear that I'd let you all speak. I get to speak last as the mayor. So I'm prepared to call the motion. Those in favor? Are there any opposed? And that motion will be defeated. Thank you very much. All right. Council, there is another item here, 8.5. It's a small one in regards to the Simcoe County Museum celebrates Museum Month. Of course, it's Museum Month. The museum, by the way, I had an opportunity to tour some of their construction site over there at the museum because they're building that beautiful new pavilion space and space for all of their artifacts and so on. It's quite stunning. And there was quite a nice moment when I walked into it and I realized that the woodwork and the beams, the wood beams that are in this facility were made right here in Clearview Township. Timmerman, remember the Timmerman factory? We went on the tour there a while ago with our economic development officer. Well, that company got the contract underneath the subcontractor to build and provide all these wooden beams from New Lowell. And it's absolutely stunning. So when the museum opens, that section of the museum opens, please go in there and admire the great handiwork of tradesmen right here from Clearview Township that contributed to that, okay? And at this point then, we can go to item 9, which is our council reports. We do have an item 9.1, which I mentioned earlier. I have a conflict on this one. So, Deputy Mayor, I know you would like to bring this forward, so I'm going to pass the chair to you, and you can handle this from here, and as you wish, okay?
Thank you, Your Worship.
I'll just step back.
The motion, which will have, if it's okay with our clerk, will have a friendly amendment in who is the owner of the, will be the owner or controller of the old Zamboni, but the recommendation be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Clearview hereby move to amend a motion previously adopted on May 11, 2026 meeting regarding the Creemore Arena ice resurfacer, RFQ, by replacing Part 3 of the motion with the following, that the former 2011 Stainer spare unit will be given to the Singhampton Firefighters Association for Memorial Park at no cost and to be used at their outdoor park rink, and the existing Creemore Olympia 2000 will be stored as a spare unit for the Clearview Parks and Recreation Committee. So in other words, The old one is going to Singhampton with this motion. Can I have a mover for that? Councillor Walker and Councillor Broderick. Any comments or questions in regards to this motion? See, Councillor Beelan, you have your hand up there, so I presume you want to speak to it?
Yes, I'm just wondering, do we have a place to store it?
I would ask, we do have two members in the, from the association here with us. Justin or Jesse, do you want to just speak to that at all, please, quickly? Push the green, so the green button comes on there.
Hello, I'm Justin Limegart, and this is Justin Davidson. We're members of the Singhampton Firefighter Association. We do have a site to store it in Singhampton. We look after the rink ourselves as well, and we're thankful for the township for donating the new Zamboni to help look after the rink. We have an excellent rink. It's huge. We work day after day, night after night, whenever the weather lets us, and we have an older Zamboni now, and we're very thankful for the upgrade because the other one is like a 1980 something or other. But anyways, we enjoy doing it for the community. There's no better feeling of working our butts off, and whenever you drive past there at night, there's 20, 30 kids on there like every night. And yeah, so back to your question, Councillor, we do have a spot ourselves to store it, and we'll look after all that. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Just 1 second. I just want to thank you guys for doing what you're doing, because I know there's, in part of this whole parcel is the new building at the park there. And so just make it known, any community members that wish to help or contribute to this project, please keep the boys here in mind. It is not part of the Township of Clearview. It is part of the Singhampton community. So we really appreciate what you guys are doing. So Mr. Davidson, Mr. Lamgert, thank you very much. So
Thank you.
thank you. Okay. You're okay with that, Councillor Beelan?
Yes, thank you very much that they have a place to store it. That was my only concern.
Good, thank you. Any further questions from council? I'd like to call the motion. All in favor? And that carries unanimously. And it is noted that the mayor has stepped away from this vote, but now be returned to the office and to his chair. And I'll turn it back over to you, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Well done, sir. If I may, without breaking any rules, I think the donation would be as is without warranty. Good luck. How would that be? Sound fair? All right. Council, we're going to go to our award reports at this time. We started with Mr. Broderick first last time. Mr. Walker, would you like to start this time?
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship.
And then we will go to Mr. Beelan, who's online. So go ahead, Mr.
Thank
Walker.
you, Your Worship. It won't take long. May 27th was our planning meeting, and I just want to say that this Thursday, June 4th, staying and kicking off the summer season with music, market, and park it. And I just checked weather, and Mother Nature so far has got it at about 24 degrees for Thursday and no rain, but I'm not sure we could trust Mother Nature. But anyways, let's hope that she's true to her word and gives us a good day on Thursday.
Fantastic. Regretfully, I will not be able to be there, but I will certainly raise a glass to you while I'm away. I'll be singing a new, yes, so thank you very much. Mr. Beelan, would you like to offer any comments here tonight?
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, I was at the planning meeting. I think a lot of good comments were brought forward. May 28th, I was at the Wind Phone Hospice of Georgian Triangle. That was a great event. They do some valuable work. It's work that not everyone could do. You need a certain mental fortitude to do that job, and we were really honored to be a partner with them, and I was really honored to be welcoming them on behalf of the mayor and the deputy mayor. And currently I'm at the OPP board conference in Niagara Falls. It's a beautiful place. I haven't lost too much money at the casino, but yeah, we're having a lot of fun here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Glad to hear you're there representing the township and the police board. Let's see here. Councillor Deneen, you're up next, please.
Thank you. On the weekend, I was lucky enough to attend two Clearview residents' birthdays, a 60th and a 70th. They'll remain nameless because the ladies won't want anybody to know how old they are. And on Wednesday, I head out to the FCM conference, so I hope to have some interesting stuff to share with everyone after that. Thank you.
Thank you also for representing us at FCM. We don't often send anyone to FCM, so it's really nice that you're able to attend, and hope you have a good conference. Mr. Deputy Mayor, would you like to go next?
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a quick question. Phyllis, could you tell people who don't know what FCM stands for, what it stands for, please?
Federation of Canadian Municipalities.
That's right, thank you. Okay, May 26th, we had our county meeting, which included a flag raising for the month, and as the mayor already alluded to, we had the tour of the museum, and it is the Matthews edition is going to be phenomenal. It is just amazing to see, so it was good to that. The 27th, we have the public planning meeting, which we had 4 good presentations and a lot of interaction, so that was nice. Coming this weekend, it was already mentioned that we had Music Market and Park. However, I just want to add that Hogback Road will be our first band to play. I will be there representing the mayor, who is, like we said, is away. And but we look forward to everybody being there and get things warmed up for the year, so to speak. This Saturday is Trail Tunes, and for those who've never participated in, there's with Collingwood and with Sega and ourselves, we have bands or musicians playing at different times in different places along the rail trail and within their community. So check the website, and it's weather looks okay right now, but we're questioning it, but there's be some presentations made within our own community here, so look forward to that. And just a quick question, Your Worship, as Marty Balin mentioned about spending money at the casino, do we have a budget for him for doing that?
Madam Clerk, does that fall underneath miscellaneous expenses?
That's strictly under the Police Service Board budget.
Police Service Board budget. Yeah, that has nothing to do with the
Thank you, Madam
township
Clerk.
$10 on the Blue Jays tonight.
Yeah, Blue Jays, okay. Mr. MacArthur.
Thank you, Your Worship. May 27th, I was at the public planning meeting also. May 28th, also joined Councillor Broderick and Beelan at the Hospice Georgian Triangle unveiling of their wind phone. And it was nice to meet up with George Christie, who actually designed and built the phone and the little booth for it. And of course, he's the older brother of our dearly departed Ed Christie, who was on council here the last term. May 29th, with me and Your Worship, we were at the 2026 Rural Summit in Keswick with Lisa Thompson, Minister of Rural Affairs. They had a roundtable discussion as well as 3 speakers, and I think my biggest takeaway was that as a township, we don't have to tackle all our problems alone. We've seen examples of a lot of cooperation between municipalities on one subject, such as AI was one that was brought up. So staff, if you think there's a project too big for your britches, then reach out and see if any other neighboring municipalities are doing the same thing. And then on Saturday, May 30th, I dropped in. The Mad Noisy Quilt Group in Creemore had quilts everywhere around Creemore, and there was lots of flowery quilts and seemed to be a lot of people touring around town. And that's it, thanks.
Quilts are always amazing at the G&E Fair. It's beautiful to see, so that's great. I'm glad you went to that. Mr. Broderick.
Thank you, Your Worship. May 26th, attended the Creemore BIA meeting. May 27th, the planning meeting. And the 28th, as previously stated, the unveiling of the wind phone at Eco Park. And later on this week, we got lots of great stuff going to happen.
Yes, we do. Absolutely. Council, I do want to mention, as Councillor MacArthur mentioned, attending the Rural Summit at Keswick. Interesting because there were mayors, councillors, and economic development officers from all over central Ontario there. It was a really good, diverse group of people. some from larger municipalities, some from smaller municipalities. Minister Lisa Thompson, in her opening remarks, one of the things that I took away from that was that she wanted to emphasize that while her role as the Minister of Rural Affairs, she also identified that the Cabinet of the province of Ontario identified that growth is going to happen both economically and in housing in rural Ontario, simply because we can do it, and we can do it more effectively. And economic investment in rural Ontario pays better, as in far as investment return on lands and return on investment for industries and so on that might want to move to rural. And she also, as an aside, made a comment about rural employees too, that they enjoy coming to work because they get a nice calm drive through the countryside to get to their offices and get to their work. So I thought it was a kind of a nice way to round out a good discussion. And the meeting was well organized and at a beautiful location, which is a community park that Keswick built. And the mayor was there from Georgina, and she spoke about how that whole community has really focused on growth because they've more than doubled in size since she joined that council in 2003. So the population has certainly grown in their area, and they're very close to the GTA. So, you know, for us in this part of the world, we have to recognize that there will be more growth coming. It's maybe not as quick as what you saw there because they're much closer to the GTA, but we will see growth coming to our community. That's what I took away. Now, on Saturday, I had the absolute pleasure to attend the 41st annual 1944 RCEME Army Cadet Review. It was held at the the Creemore Community Center arena floor. The arena looked really sharp. It looked really great. The cadets looked even better. They were really sharp and alert with their presentation and their drills and some of their demonstration skills. And then there was a whole group of awards given out to some of these various cadets for their ability to achieve different achievements as part of their programming, but also some of them were community-focused things. And so it was a pleasure to present an award to a young cadet, a warrant officer who is 3 years in the program, and she had highlighted through both her work as a cadet, but also in her work in the community, that she helps at the library and she helps you know, at the school with other younger students and so on. So it was a very interesting conversation I had with her afterwards to find out why they would pick her, and she's a well-deserving member of the Cadet Corps. The Cadet Corps has something like 34 students there right now that are cadets, and significant growth considering in 2021, just as COVID was just starting to peak out, they had 0 cadets, 0. They had none. They had officers, they had adult leaders, trainers, but no cadets had registered for 2021 season. So to them to be at this point is quite remarkable and shows the good leadership and programming that they do. They acknowledge us at Clearview Township for our partnership because we do offer them a little bit of a grant money, and as well as the use of our spaces, et cetera. So it's nice, very nice event. Well, by the way, we're also joined by the mayor and deputy mayor of Southgate. They came to that same event because they have many of the students in their community are members of the Cadet Corps in our community. So it was kind of nice to have them there too. So a really great event. Now, I do want to acknowledge too that I will be away for a week. I'm taking some private time to be away with my, you know, my dear wife, who is, you know, suffered with me for 40 years of marriage. So we need to get away and have a vacation together. So I'm leaving it in the hands of the deputy mayor for the week, and I know that you will work with your council here, Deputy Mayor, to keep them busy too. So look forward to hearing how you did at the Music Market and Parket. All right, guys, good to see you. That's it I have for now, and looking forward to seeing you all in a week's time. Okay, we're going to move on to our department reports. We got a couple of quick things here to get through. We do have a Public Works report. This one is the granular material contract award. Recommendation says, be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report PW 012-2026 granular material tender award dated June the 1st, 2026. Item 1, that Council award the tender number 2026-06 to Arnell Construction Limited, operated as Sealy and Arnell Construction, in the amount of $480,360 plus HST for supply of granular material for township gravel road resurfacing. That'll be moved by, Ms. Deneen, thank you, and Mr. Broderick, thank you. And Dan, you got anything you want to add to this report?
Nothing, Your Worship. Mr. Patton unfortunately wasn't the author of this, and briefed me on the process, and here to answer any questions if you have any.
Yeah. I would expect that some of this material isn't going to be stored anywhere because it'll probably be picked up, delivered directly to site during jobs as we need it. So we're not storing this anywhere. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Worship. This is the main focus of this tender is our gravel resurfacing program.
Right.
Plus other granular materials as we need them that they go directly to site.
Excellent. Excellent. Do you have a question, Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Your Worship. Dan, I want to just quick question about the quality of material. Do we specify what pit it would come from, or are we just letting them bring what comes out of their own pits? We have had some discussion in the past, a quarry versus a pit. There is a difference in the material, but do we deal with that at all, or have we dealt with that at all?
Through Your Worship, the Deputy Mayor, we don't specify the pit that they get it from. It would be where their supply comes from as part of this tender, but we have, and we can send in for sieve analysis, so sizing analysis for the granular materials. So that is something that is in the contract that we've done in the past that we can continue. We would normally do anyway, depending on the grades. Typically, it would be B gravel and A gravel.
Right.
So we can send in for a sieve analysis.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we're getting the quality we want, and when in a situation like this, they're all going to have to use our roads to get here anyway. So it's not logistically, it's their situation as far as how they get to Clearview Township, because we don't have the gravel pits in Clearview Township. So, thank you.
Excellent. Any other questions? Yes, Mr. MacArthur.
Yeah, through Your Worship, Dan, I'm not sure Todd would probably be more knowledgeable, but just to our friends on the 11th concession up in Singhampton there, where we had a lot of issues this spring, just wondered if there's many spots earmarked for a further dig out before we do put this top coat on.
Through Your Worship, to Councillor MacArthur. So yes, so this area in general, if you recall from budget time, this will be year 7, I believe, of a 5-year program that we started back when I first came to the township, where we quadrant off or split the township into 5 areas. So this year, 2026, is generally that Singhampton south to sort of County Road 9 and west of Creemore. So it's in that general area. So any of those roads where we've observed that there's any wet spots in the spring, some boils in the base material, they do get dug out first, and then it gets a good supply of 6 to 8 inches of fresh granular material on top.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? All right, thank you. I don't see Mr. Beelan, so I'm just checking if he's still monitoring. Mr. Beelan, do you have your hand over top of your camera, or what's going on?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, just I just thought maybe we lost you there for a minute, but that's okay. Glad to see you. Council, if there's nothing further, I'm prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? That carries unanimous. Thank you. Next item is our Finance Department, FIN 006-2026, Council Remuneration. Recommendation be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report FIN 006-2026, the Council Remuneration dated June the 1st, 2026. Moved by the Deputy Mayor, seconded by Mr. Walker. Thank you. Any questions? Kelly, do you have anything you want to add?
No, Your Worship, just the annual report coming out.
Thank you very much. Nothing further? I'll call the motion then. All in favor? It carries unanimous. Thank you. Next item is also from Finance. It's FIN 007. This is the New Lowell Public Works and Fire Hall borrowing. So be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report FIN 007-2026, the New Lowell Public Works and Fire Hall borrowing dated June the 1st, 2026. Item 1, the Council authorizes the Treasurer to apply for the 5-year loan with a 20-year amortization period with the TD Bank for an amount up to $3,575,000. Mr. Councillor Deneen. Councillor Beelan, would you second that? Thank you, sir. Sorry, first of all, we'll go to Kelly. Kelly, do you want to explain a little bit about this and how we got to this 20-year term?
Thank you, Your Worship. For purchases like this, when it's a facility with an expected life beyond 20 years, we hope, what we do is we look to the 20-year term to collect development charges over the term, the first part of the term of the asset.
Okay. And then to clarify that answer too, although this is located in the settlement area of New Lowell, development charges would apply for the whole township because it's a public works facility and a fire facility. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Worship.
Yeah, just so there's no misunderstanding about, what development charges are applied. These two organizations, as part of the structure of the corporation, receive funding from all development charges in all corners of the township.
Correct.
Yes, thank you. All right, is there any questions to Kelly on this? Yes, Mr. MacArthur.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, in the first 5 years, has there been any of the principal amount of this loan? Because I'm assuming this is just a redo of the original loan, so has any of the principal been paid off in this previous 5 years?
Kelly?
Through Your Worship, to Councillor MacArthur, no, this is the first loan we're taking on the property. It took us a little bit of time to pull in all the costing on a build like this, but we've now got everything finalized and we're good to go.
All right. And a fine building it is. Thank you. If there's nothing further on that item, I am prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? And that carries unanimous. Thank you. We move to the Clerk's Department Bylaw Enforcement regarding the closed meeting investigator services. Recommendation be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report LS 014-2026 regarding the closed meeting investigator services dated June the 1st, 2026. Item 1, that Council supports utilizing the default services of the Ombudsman of the Province of Ontario as the Township's closed meeting investigator. Mover and seconder, please. Mr. Walker, Mr. MacArthur, thank you. And Madam Clerk, would you like to speak to this as to how you came to the Ombudsman of Ontario?
Thank you, Worship. So this is a first report of 2 council reports. We received notice from our current Integrity Commissioner, who's also our closed meeting investigator, that they're terminating all their municipal clients as January 1st, 2027. So that's Principals Integrity. We are looking at an expression of interest with the county for Integrity Commissioner services, so that will be a report upcoming to council over the summer. But for the closed meeting investigator, it made sense just to default to the services of the Ombudsman, as because there's no cost to it. And traditionally, and knock on wood, Clearview hasn't had many issues with investigations to that point. So with no cost, it was a no-brainer to go to the Ombudsman at this point.
Thank you very much. I'd like to ask the first question, and then I'll get to council. How much have we spent on closed meeting investigator services with the current provider.
Thank you, Worship. Since I've returned from maternity leave, we haven't had any closed meeting investigations, and there wasn't anything previous to that. So we just pay the annual retainer of $250. If they did have an investigation, it would have been their regular rate of $275 per hour.
So $250 per year has been spent on this. There you go. Pretty fair service. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Your Worship. Madam Clerk, as you mentioned correctly, the county is losing, we use the same integrity commissioner as the county does. When the county is going to tender for a new integrity commissioner, do they ask for the closed session investigator as well, or will they be switching to the ombudsman as well?
Thank you, through your worship, to Deputy Mayor Van Staveren. That is a great question. I don't know which route the county will go. I think that will depend on their services that they use and if there's been many closed meeting investigations on their part. I know the ombudsman, they do provide fair services, they do provide timely services, but I think it's a personal preference of the county and how much they use those services.
Good, thank you.
I just support that. The county of Simcoe did have a couple of closed investigations, and they were done by the ombudsman. We received reports by the ombudsman. All right, any other questions? All right, seeing none, I am prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? That carries unanimous. Thank you. All right, we're going to move on then to item 10.3.2, Creemore Station on the Green, main door entrance. Anybody through that door recently? It needs to be replaced. That's what this is about. Be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report LS 015-2026, the Creemore Station on the Green. It's the main entrance door accessibility request dated June the 1st, 2026. Item 1, the council approved the use of funds from the Accessibility Capital Projects Reserve Fund in the amount up to $7,000 for costs associated with the accessibility improvements to the Creemore Station on the Green, main entrance door, and required electrical work. Moved by Mr. Beelan. Yes? Thank you. Seconded by Mr. MacArthur. Thank you. Who wants to speak to this? I mean, is this, do you need to speak to it?
I don't know if Marty is the chair.
Marty, you're the chair of this. Do you have anything you want to just add in regards
Yes.
to why this is here? Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, that door is in ill repair. We spent quite a few dollars on replacing the door, and we would like to have it for accessibility. We would like to have funds for pressing the little button so that it opens automatically for a wheelchair. The old door was 2 doors that opened up. The new door is going to be wider with 1 door and a panel on the side, so it'll be more secure, and we'd like to have it accessible by wheelchair.
Sounds great. Thank you. Any questions? Yes, Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Worship. I have no problem with this as a member of the Accessibility Committee, but I do wish that they would have maybe contacted the Accessibility Committee prior to, because I'm not a fan of the automatic push-button doors. Your easy doors, to me, are by far a better entrance door to community facilities, as they are a censored door, do not require any push-button activity. Push-button activities create issues, especially if those looking after them do not shut them down at nighttime, because they are, especially in urban areas, they are an attraction to being pushed and pushed and pushed, and next thing you know, you're burning the motors out because they aren't being moved forward. So the easy doors are a better door, but I understand that the door's already been ordered. So it's very unfortunate that way. I would have liked to have talked about the other. But anyways, I don't believe the committee will have an issue with helping support this endeavor of the Station on the Green.
Good call, and thank you for letting us know. Appreciate that. We'll attempt to do better, I guess, when it comes to communicating with the Accessibility Committee. Members of council, is there anything further? Any other questions? Oh, yes, Marty, you had something else?
Yes, I'm not familiar with the easy door, so maybe you could expand on that. I'm not familiar with it.
The easy door is what's in the arenas, where you just walk up and there's an electronic sensor above it, and it automatically opens, slides. One, you can have a single door, you can have a double door, and they just slide. You don't need to be pushing any buttons whatsoever to activate, just a motion sensor by the individual.
Oh, I see. The beer store door. Yeah, we talked about that, and they did want a push button one. I'm not sure why, but it did make sense to us at the time. So we're just looking for the funding for the push button.
Gotcha. I prefer to call those the Star Trek doors, to be quite honest. You know. Okay, if there's nothing further? All right, council, thank you very much. Thank you, Marty. Council, there's a motion in front of you. I'm prepared to call the motion. All those in favor? That carries unanimous. Thank you. Jennifer, we're getting to your report. Council, in front of us is LS 016, the Creemore Tennis Club lease agreement for 31 Edward Street. Recommendation, be it resolved that Council of the Township of Clearview hereby receive report LS 016 2026, Creemore Tennis Club lease agreement dated June the 1st, 2026. And item 1, that Council support entering into a facility lease agreement with the Creemore Tennis Club for use of the tennis courts and associated infrastructure at 31 Edward Street East, Gowan Park, for a 5-year term as outlined in the agreement attached as Appendix A to this report. Item 2, that a bylaw be presented at the June 1st, 2026 meeting authorizing the mayor and clerk to execute the lease agreement on behalf of the municipality. Moved by Mr. MacArthur, Mr. Van Stavern. Thank you, sir. All right, any questions to the lease agreement as presented, council? All right. Seeing none, thank you for the presentation earlier, and thank you to the staff who have been working on this for some time to get this completed. So I'm glad to see this is finally in front of us at council. Madam Clerk, are you ready to sign it with me later today? All those in favor? That passes unanimously, I believe. Marty, I still got my hand up.
I wasn't there for the presentation and the closed presentation.
Well, it wasn't in closed presentation, so it's all right, Marty. We'll just consider it passed and carried. Thank you. All right. Council, let's move to our bylaws. The facility lease agreement for 31 Edward Street East, the Creemore Tennis Club. This bylaw is, be it resolved that bylaw 2636 being a bylaw to authorize entering into a facility lease agreement with the Creemore Tennis Club for use of a portion of land located at 31 Edward Street East, Gowan Memorial Park, be presented and read a first, second, and third time and finally passed on the first day of June 2026. Deputy Mayor, thank you. Mr. MacArthur, thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor? The bylaw carries. Thank you so much. Notice of motion and new business. Notice of motion, new business. Looking around the table. No new business? Oh, yes, sir, go ahead.
I'm just waiting for Councillor Walker to say they poured the cement for your stoplights today, so because I can close it.
They did. I saw that. Yes, they did.
That's just wonderful, thank you.
There's some beautiful aluminum colored or aluminized posts. Perhaps they're zinc coated, I don't know sure what they are. But anyway, their posts are up and the arms are out. You could be stopping there anytime. Let's hope everyone else stops too. Yes. That's great. If there's nothing further, what was I going to say? There was one other thing I had on my agenda and I didn't write it down. What was it?
You're on holiday mode already.
I know I am on holiday mode. That's
We'll
okay.
take care of things. You just get
I know
out
you will.
of here.
I know you will. It's okay. It's all right. Anyway, okay, then we'll just carry on. There's no new business. We have a confirmatory bylaw. Be it resolved that bylaw 2640 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the June 1st, 2026 council meeting be presented and read a first, second, and third time and finally passed on the first day of June 2026. Mr. Beelan, Ms. Deneen, any questions on the confirmatory? All those in favor? And the bylaw carries. At this time, we'll look for the motion to adjourn, 6:52 p.m. Mr. Broderick, thank you. Mr. MacArthur, thank you. Motion to adjourn, all in favor? Thank you. Marty, enjoy the rest of your conference, and hope that we'll see you back here soon enough, and I'll see you on Monday.
Thank you.